Aloha! Hey everybody! Thank you so much for being here. I am really excited about our training today. We are talking about our Priestess Path, Mastermind, Mystery School. And today I'm going to be doing a shamanic teaching, which is in accordance with the Celtic Wheel of the Year. And so for those of you that are on live, thank you so much for being here and joining. And if you want to drop in the comments where you're joining in from, just comment below and just say hi. And I can see some of y'all's comments, and then I'll go back and check the other ones on our Facebook and our YouTube after the video. So this training can be done really any time of year that you really want to close a cycle and really step into your full power. But we're embracing this as we move into the season of Samhain, or we call All Saints Day as the birth. The Samhain is the death, the All Saints Day is the birth. El Dia de los Muertos is the holiday that is celebrated in Mexico. And this is the Day of the Dead. It's a time to celebrate the ancestors. It's a time when the veil is the thinnest. And it is the end of the year. It's the end of the Celtic Wheel. And so as we move from the ending, which is the death cycle, there's a period here where we have an opportunity to really close out all the cycles in our life that are keeping us from really stepping fully into our power. And so today I am going to work with you about teaching you a ritual to call back your power. This has a lot to do with the cycle of the year specifically, but anytime that you find this video is the perfect time to do this ritual. And so we're doing it in accordance with the closing, the ending, the death cycle. So Samhain is the last 6 weeks of the year. And then it's moving into the last 6 weeks before winter solstice. And this becomes the darkest night, the darkest hour. On the winter solstice, the sun goes away. The timeline of the sunset stays at the same rate for 3 days. So it's the darkest hour for 3 days, and then it's the return of the sun. And so this is also kind of in accordance with the Christian holiday of Christmas, because the sun, S-O-N or S-U-N, goes beneath, it goes dark, and then the light returns, and then the sunset starts to get longer and longer and longer, and the days become longer and longer and longer until the summer solstice. So today we're talking about this particular ritual that can be done at any time that we want to call back our power. And so one of the books in our Priestess Path Mastermind training is the teachings of Around the Sacred Wheel by Lynn V. Andrews. And for those of you that are watching this that are in the course, this is a book that you might want to get for your reference library. It's not a required reading, but it's very, very recommended. I'm going to show you the book itself. And so this is the teachings around the sacred wheel. This one is really, really great. It's a wonderful medicine woman and shaman and healer and teacher. And so as I was really considering what I was going to be talking about today on our live for our Egyptian Mystery School, I really was delving deep into the Wheel of the Year and really feeling this closing of this season, this closing of this portal, if you will, for this last year. And what we're stepping into as women, as men, as powerful co-creators of source, as fractals of source energy to create this new earth. And we are here to create this new earth reality. And so as we're stepping in, we must step fully into our own purpose and our own power and our own path, so that we can really fully be in this power of why we're here. And so for those of you that are in the training, or if you're considering doing the training, one of the first lessons that we do is called Finding My Why, and really stepping into delving deep on why am I here? Why am I here? Why am I here? And asking, why am I here? What am I doing? What is my true purpose on this planet? And so as we avoid those things that are thrown in our path are obstacles. And in those obstacles, they need to die. Those things need to die. And so in order for us to step fully into our power, we must figure out what those things are that are standing in our way. And so this is a ritual called the Act of Power. And I'm going to read to you a little bit about this ritual and just tell you a little bit about what this looks like. And then we're going to pick a time where we are each going to do this ritual. So I'm really excited about it. And it's a deep, powerful ceremony to be done with the land. And you can find any power spot that you feel that you're called to be in. But definitely this is done outside. So this is to begin to build what her spirit guide Agnes calls the spirit lodge of your own being. And it says, you must look at the foundation of your spirit lodge. The foundation has to do with your physical life, how you deal with your environment, how you earn money, how you live with your dignity and take care of your children or the people that you're responsible for. The foundation of the spirit lodge is also the essence of a paradigm of your actual totality. Your own being must be very secure and very well grounded. When the foundation of your spirit lodge is very secure and strong and well, and it's executed in life, then we move on to the teaching of what Agnes calls the dome of the lodge. This has to do with the spiritual ceremonies and the ritual and higher education and higher levels of other dimensions of reality. If you begin to work with the dome of your spirit lodge first without dealing with the foundation of your lodge, at some point, everything comes toppling down and you're like when a building falls when the foundation is not secure. So this is what we're working with, is really securing our strong, firm foundation. And this is one of the things that I've been doing for many, many, many years, is diving deep into my foundational practices, my foundational essence of my being. But everything has been stripped away and stripped away and stripped away. And as we begin to strip away all the layers, we really delve deep into why we're really here, what our true essence, our true purpose is, not our roles and not our ego and not our work and not our quote unquote thing that we do for money or whatever. But really the purpose of why we're here on this planet. And so delving deep into this path of really the priestess path is honoring that path for which we have come here for. And if we still are yet to know what that is, this is where this work comes in. We can't really do the higher spirit lodge work without finding this out first. So I'm going to share with you a little bit about this ceremony here. So it's called an active power ceremony. It consists of first a list, which is called the life prayer arrow. And the life prayer arrows are actual sticks or arrows that you'll make. First, you're going to make a list of 10 things that you're going to do by this time next year to make your active power happen. So 10 very specific things. The death prayer arrow consists of a list as long as you want of all the things that you're going to give away. The things that have kept you all of your life from making your active power. The things like I'm not good enough, the fear of being successful, and so forth. And it could be as long as you want. So this is a very helpful ceremony, and it can be done in sisterhood. You can do it at the beginning of every year, which we're doing at the beginning of the Celtic year, the ending of the cycle, and the beginning of the cycle. So around October 31st to November 1st and 2nd. So you've got All Saints Day, Lady of the Guadalupe Day. You've got these times of celebration where we're celebrating our ancestors. We're celebrating where we've come from. We're celebrating who we've been. And we're also putting to death, letting go of all of those things that we're giving away. We're releasing it back to the earth. And so that's what your death arrow is for. And then you have your life arrow for the list of the things, the 10 very specific things that you're going to accomplish by this time next year. So you may want to write these things down so you can do this. For those of you that are in our Priestess Path Mystery School training, this will be part of your homework assignments in class. So you'll also receive this as an assignment, and it'll all be written out for you there. But if you do want to take notes, just grab a pen and get a notepad out and get that ready so you can take notes on how to do this. So when you first have your list written, sometimes it might take a couple of days or weeks or even months to get your list together. Make 2 arrows. So you're going to make one for your life arrow and one for your death arrow. And make sure that you get something like a stick, which is very dry because you're going to burn it. So the death arrow must be made out of something flammable. So you'll want to burn it easily. You put 4 streamers on it. You're going to put red, white, black, and yellow for all the directions. You can paint them. You can make them beautiful, whatever you'd like to do with them. And you can make them around 6 inches long, but they could be really any size and whatever length that you like. And then you're going to tie your list like a little scroll, and you're going to wrap the scroll around the arrow. And this is what you're going to use for your ceremony. You're going to make 2 to 3, 4 little garments that are little bundles, and you're going to place them also exactly the same. So you're going to do the little bundles made out of natural material like cotton or something like that. And so the red is for the power of women, to protect the energy of what you put in the bundles. So you're calling in the protection of the Shakti energy, the energy of all of our female ancestors, all the divine feminine, to work with you. And of course, the power of Pachamama, our mother planet. And so you're going to place a little candle in each bundle, put a little incense in there, like sage, cedar, sweet grass, or all three. You're going to take a little pinch of cornmeal and a pinch of tobacco. So usually anything that you use for any kind of ceremonial smudge, put that in your bundle, place a candle in there like a little tea light, and then sprinkle it with that up. So in there also, you're going to place a flower, some flower petals, and then you're going to put these spirit of place bundles in a small blanket that's large enough for you to sit on. Red medicine blanket would be nice, to kind of continue with the divine feminine energy. If you have a red medicine blanket, you can use, but you can really use any blanket that you like to use for your ceremony. This is going to be your ceremonial Mesa for you to lay out on the ground. So the 4 medicine bundles, you're going to tie them all up, get your 2 sticks, wrap your lists around the sticks, and then get ready to do your ceremony. And think about a day that you want to do your ceremony. So this ceremony for me feels like I'm really putting to give away and to put to death those things that are stopping me from my power, and then writing out that list of those 10 things that really are your power. Your power is your purpose of why you're here. That active power provides a mirror. This mirror is one of the best ways and one of the only ways to really learn about yourself. To look in the mirror that you create yourself through your own effort and your focus. It's an extraordinary tool. This is what I'm asking for you. I'm asking for you to be focused on creating those 10 things that are specific to you, your purpose of why you're here, your power, and things that you might have been avoiding, things that you might have thought you're not good enough for, or you're not ready for, or you have to have this training first, or blah, 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 blah. Whatever those stories are, those stories go on your death arrow. Those stories go on that list. All those things that are stopping you from really fully embracing truly that power of why you're here. So I'm going to read to you here a little bit about what she suggests in the book. You can do this with a group if you want to work, or work with a friend, and you can delve into the depths of each other's spirits and come up with something very specific and pragmatic. So you don't want your active power to be like, I want to be someone who brings love and light. No, that is not an active power. That, we're going to call each other out. In our Priestess Path training, we're going to be doing this together and really talking about our acts of power and what those acts of power really stand for in our life. And once we really get one that really makes us feel like we want to cry, like your why, your purpose, your why makes you cry. Your why will make you cry. Your why will make you feel emotion. And you're going to feel like maybe some fear coming up, and write that fear on your death arrow list. So whatever's rising up that's blocking you from whatever that is that you're doing, that you know that you're here to do, but you have avoided. So you want maybe to hear something like that's really more decisive, like, I really want to get my law degree. I want to be a gardener. I want to write a book. Or something that you can truly say, this is my active power. And so this is so important. It's a very important task. And particularly for some women, it's very difficult to actually have this outward expression in the world. And so it's a very patriarchal world. And so we do live in this space where sometimes those things may feel shut down. So it requires us to take a stand and to really be noticed for our power. And it might be difficult, but it is very essential. So this is the ritual here. You're going to make the little small bundles of spirit of place, wrap the bundles in the natural material, place the little candle in there, and then what we're going to do is we're going to take some extra tobacco with you and find a place to do your ritual. So take whatever things that you'd like to have with you for your ceremony. This is not any ritual that has to be done in any certain way. This is actually a personal ceremony, and it can be different every time you do it every year. But this time you're just going to just feel into what you want to take. Maybe it's some crystals, maybe it's some sacred water in a bowl, maybe it's a flower that you have seen growing, in the wild near your house. Maybe it's a particular plant. Maybe there's some particular medicine that you want to take with you that you place on your blanket. Whatever that might look like for you. So just gather all the things that you want for your ceremony. Anything that makes you feel empowered in their presence. Wrap it all up in your blanket and then tie it with some leather or a big jute string. Include your blanket with a pinch of loose tobacco, and then, of course, your life and your death prayer arrows. So what you're going to do is you're going to find a spot out in the wilderness. You're going to be still and undisturbed and look for people. And when you go, you're going to sit in the bottom of the hill. Place your spot there and really find a power spot, something that feels really, really good to you. And it feels warm. Take your loose tobacco and look for 4 stones on the ground. You're going to find your spot. That's going to represent the 4 directions to you. And at the bottom of this hill, you're going to ask the spirits of place to join you. And the spirits of place have been asleep for a very, very, very long time. These spirits of place have been undisturbed since someone had a ceremony there before. It could have been hundreds or thousands of years since someone had a ceremony in that very spot before you. So you're going to need to make some noise and wake them up. So bring some rattles, bring your drum, bring some instruments, use your voice, yell, scream, awaken them and ask them permission to be with you for the ceremony. And so you're going to get the 4 stones. And as you awaken these spirits, you're going to place the stones in a particular way. And I'm going to read to you how this is going to go. So the south stone represents trust and innocence from the south. The color is red. And although the stone doesn't have to be red, the stones do not have to be any specific color. Just know in your mind that the south is trust and innocence and is represented by the color red. Then find a stone for the west. The color of the west is black. The west represents the sacred dream, the death and the rebirth, the transformation, and you're going to place a stone in the west of your circle. So you're going to set your blanket down there after you call the spirits of place that stone on the south, call in the color red, call in the innocence, call in the child self, call in anything that the south represents to you that really feels honorable, but just really about the trust and the innocence. You're going to turn to the west, place your stone on the west, realizing that that is really all about the transformation, the death and the rebirth, the color black, and starting to build your sacred circle. Then turn to the north, place your stone on the north side of your circle above your blanket. And as you find your stone, for each stone, it doesn't matter if they're tiny or they're big, you're going to honor the north, and you're going to honor the place of wisdom, the color white, and honoring the strength and the virtue. And so then as you turn to the east, you're going to place your 4th stone there. This is the color yellow. It's the east, the rising sun, the gold. It's the place of illumination, and it's also the sacred clown. And so as we have placed your stones, then you're also going to take your tobacco out. You're going to move from the south to the west to the north and just turn in that circle. And then you're going to say a prayer, and as you do, say a prayer of protection. It could be something like, I place an arm of divine love and protection around this sacred circle, and I am protected from all harm. Aho. You're going to enter the circle. You're going to come in through the east door and close it behind you and spread the tobacco to close the door. So now you're in the center of the circle. And so as you do, you spread out your blanket, smooth it around, and you're going to face south. Take your death arrow out of your pouch, and you're going to place it in the ground. This represents the male, and the earth is the female, so you've made a perfect union within that. And so you have perfect balance. Take out your spirit bundles and unwrap one, and then you're going to take it out, lay it in the south, and light your candle. All you need is just a flicker of light, and it doesn't matter if it actually goes out because of the wind. It's just a little flicker of light. You're going to smudge yourself with the herbs and the sage that you brought. Take the smoke, cover your body with it, and also be very careful about fire when you're outside. Make sure there's no embers that get out from your sacred fire. Okay, so that's one thing to really make sure of, especially if there's any wind. And so from there, just smudge all of your sacred things and lay them out on your blanket. And then just ask for the prayers to come in of protection. At this point, you can sing you can drum your prayer, you can dance your prayer, whatever feels appropriate for you, just on your blanket, in your sacred ceremony. This is not something that's rote. It's not something that's particular. It is your own personal prayer for your highest self and your communication with spirit. And it can be different for everybody. And so as you do this, you're going to just ask the spirit of place to take effort to come and wake up, and to wake them up and just rattle and shout and sing and dance, and just asking all those spirits that have been asleep for so many eons to come and help you in your ceremony. And so they're sleeping, they need to be awakened, and to do this, they must see the light. So they must hear your voice and to know if you're true. And so offer them incense as a blessing. This is something beautiful, which is what they love. And they love to see flowers in the light from a flame. So offer the spirits of place a flower, offer tobacco and cornmeal, and then start to sing to them. And be sure that you speak really loud. Sing loud so that they can hear you. When you hear the shamans talk to the spirits of place, calling them to wake them up, it's as if they're speaking to a lover. Tell them how beautiful they are, that they're little luminous beings, and they are also very curious. So you'll actually begin to feel them coming into the space. So just keep your attention and your intentions very, very true, and just honoring that they're coming. Just know that they're coming, they're waking up, and they're coming to help you in your ceremony. And when you finally feel their presence, thank them for being with you, and then say your prayers. So I'm going to read you this example of a prayer that she wrote in the book. And you can make any prayer that you like. It can be impromptu, or you can write it out if you want to do that. Great Spirit, Mother Earth, powers of the four directions, my power animal, my allies, my ancestors, and all those who love me, hear me now. This is a ceremony for my act of power. Thank you for being with me. I honor your presence within my circle, my sacred circle. This is my death arrow. These are the things that have kept me from my act of power all this long time. These are the things that I am willing to give away so that I may accomplish my act of power, my act of destiny in this lifetime, within this next year. I will begin now. And so it is, and so it is, and so it is. And so as you call this declaration, just read all of your things from your death arrow. You can scream them, you can cry them, you can chant them, you can dance them, you can drum them, you can stomp them out. Or you can just simply read them. Feel the power coming from your solar plexus and really, really say them with conviction. And so as you read your list, remember, you're making a promise to Great Spirit. Do not take it lightly, and do not give away something that you cannot actually truly give away. When you're finished reading the list to Great Spirit, burn the arrow and the list, and then bury the ashes, completely cover them, and then close your sacred circle. When you've finished, put out any embers and actually just make sure all your fire is completely out. Then you're going to give thanks. Give thanks to Great Spirit, the spirits of place, and then leave your spirits of place bundle there for them. Wrap up your things in your blanket and leave the sacred circle by the east door. So as this is completed, this death arrow, you're going to leave the east door. You're going to walk up to the top of the hill. At the top of the hill, do exactly the same thing. You're going to find 4 stones, place your sacred circle, walk your sacred circle, enter your sacred circle from the east, lay out the blanket as your place of power. You're going to do whatever feels good here, whatever feels warm to you, and repeat the same ceremony, exactly the same ceremony, and place your life arrow in the ground this time, forming the balance between masculine and feminine. Open your spirit of place bundle. Perform exactly as you did before. Make your prayer to Great Spirit and read, this time, everything on your life arrow. When you're finished reading it, place it again on the arrow. And this time, leave the arrow for the universe, asking for guidance, asking for the universe to help you on your way. When you're complete with the ceremony, take note of everything that has happened. Maybe what birds flew over, maybe what cloud formations came in, what direction the wind was coming from, what time that came in, what animals or what insects came by, if there's dragonflies or butterflies or ants or beetles. Notice everything. Everything in your ceremony is a sign from spirit. These are all very important signs, and they're coming to you to give you messages and messages to know that spirit is listening, spirit is there and present for you. And so when you're completed, just be unusually aware, be totally aware of everything. When the ceremony is over and you've left your sacred circle by the east door, take your blanket and all of your sacred things. Come down the hill and then celebrate. Celebrate that evening. And it's a very, very, very important day. It's very important to celebrate. And this is why we're calling this in on All Saints Day, because we can really celebrate our ancestors. We can celebrate our own self. We can celebrate our highest self and the Lady of the Guadalupe. We can celebrate all of our ancestors that have crossed over, and celebrate we're stepping fully into our power. You've made a commitment to Great Spirit. So you're going to celebrate. You're going to take yourself out to dinner, just as if you had a graduation party, like you just got a degree from college or something. You're going to celebrate big, have a sacred bath, pour yourself a glass of wine or some sparkling bubbly water or whatever that is that you want to do to celebrate. Go take a sacred dip in the river, however that looks for you, but really make it a beautiful act of celebration, because this is a declaration, a time for you to fully, completely, and totally commit to stepping into your power. So whatever that power looks like for you, you now have truly, truly begun your shaman path. And so what I'd like for you to do is to make a note of all of these things, and in the comments, just drop when you're going to be doing your sacred ceremony so we can support you. We can pray for you. We can pray together. We can all be doing this sacred ceremony on our own timelines, but also together. And so if you are in our Priestess Path Mystery School Egyptian teachings, we'll be doing this together as well. And we can all find days that feel good for us, but we want to be able to support each other in writing out these lists, the death arrow and the life arrow lists, and really having accountability to each other within our group. And if you don't have an accountability or a sisterhood group, please just drop a DM. We'll add you and send you an invite to we have a Telegram chat, and we also have a beautiful Facebook group called the Global Goddess Tribe Rewilding and Unleashed, where you can also share about your journeys. So I would love to hear about your ceremonies. Please drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear more about where you are at with finding your true power. If you need some coaching or some help on really stepping fully into your power, then please book a private session. If you have some curiosity about what our Priestess Path training looks like and you want to step more fully into this sisterhood, you can click the link in the comments below in the description of the video. And you get a freebie, which is our Shamanic 9 Directions. And you'll also get an invitation to join that Global Goddess Tribe group in your inbox, as well as a free download to do the Shamanic 9 Directions ritual and to really call that power in back to yourself. So I look forward to seeing you as you move forward in this path. We'll see you on the next video. And I look forward to seeing your comments. All right, make sure to like and subscribe. And if this video helped you in any way, make sure to share it. All right. I love you all so much. Thank you all so much for being on live. Namaste.